Hello my friends, this is the second part of the crack repair video that I'm making, and as you can see here, I'm marking where I'm going to be installing my staples. The most important thing about this is you need to go 3 inches deep into the granite so you get enough concrete on top of it that it won't rust over the years. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. As you can see, this was a pretty big crack that I missed it because of the pebble. But once I stripped all the pebble, I was able to see it was only one long crack. And this is what I used to mix my concrete. I used a little bit of fiber, and as you can see that red line at the bottom of the bucket, that's how much I fill with water. Then I use half a ready mixed concrete, mix it with a little bit of gray cement, make sure it's a little bit runny, and then I add the second half of ready mixed concrete. And I leave it just a little bit runny to make sure it fills all the spaces since I'm doing it on the floor. That's pretty much it. It's pretty simple. It just takes a little bit of time but to get it to the right consistency, but it's easy work. And this is what we call the bonding mix. It's half gray cement and half Versabond. And I leave it just a little bit thick, kind of like yogurt, a little bit creamy, so it can stick well enough to the walls of the concrete of the granite. I don't use that much, just like half that small bucket. So I make sure all the walls, the inside of the crack is clean, and I hose it a little bit to make it wet, and then I apply that bonding material. And the second part is easy, the last part is easy. It's just dump the concrete, the runny concrete into the crack, and it fills itself. Just go over it and push it down to make sure there's no empty spaces. And I continue my way up into the wall, doing the same process, hosing down the walls just to make sure that they're a little bit wet, and then I apply the bonding material, and then I pour the concrete. Pretty simple. Now once I get to the wall, I make my concrete material a little bit thicker, so I can throw it by hand without falling apart. So that's key right there. So you don't have to wait too much for the concrete to set. Very important to make it a little bit stiff. So yeah, and everything else is just the same. Wet everything, the concrete, apply the bonding material everywhere. The steel, the notches where I cut for the staples, and just everything else. The way inside of the crack, just as much as you can. Everything that the new concrete is gonna be touching with the granite, it has to be bonded. Now that I'm almost finishing up, just I try to make it a little bit, thicker. So, it's gonna stay in that place. It's gonna stay in and not fall. And yeah, that's it. You'll see in a minute how big that crack was. While I'm waiting for this concrete to set, start hosing everything, the entire pool, get all my tools out, and just get ready to go. And so this takes a little bit of time because I have to drain all the water, but this is the final result. You can see how big that crack was, the one on the left. And I had no idea it was that big because of all the pebble. But once I removed it, it was a lot of work. I used a lot of staples. In my first video, you can see how that crack went all the way through the wall and all the way up. I always cover it with plastic to make sure to give it more time to heal. And these guys are gonna finish up polishing the pebble. I lost all the videos. Thanks for watching, and please give me a like and subscribe if you like it. Thank you very much. Bye.